Hello, everybody. Let me go ahead and turn this music down some since my compressor's not working. What is up, everybody? It is us here at Dwelling of Duels headquarters. I'm Katajun, and I am joined by none other than the infamous, I don't know, infamous is a bad way to put it, but the world-famous man from Brazil himself with the blue guitar, tibonev, T-Bone V, T-Bone 5? Which one is it?
Hello, good evening. Yeah, it's T-Bone 5.
T-Bone 5. That's crazy. I gotta be honest, I actually had no idea that that's what it was until you mentioned it earlier today.
Yeah, nobody does. I love that. Everybody gets wrong.
Oh, sorry, there's an echo going on apparently. Hold on. Am I delayed or is it echoing? I'll just turn off the restream. Maybe that'll fix it. How's that sound, everybody? Okay. Yes. Welcome, T-Bone 5. You did evolve. You evolved from regular T-Bone into T-Bone 5.
Yeah, T-Bone 1 to 4 is only available in Brazil.
Genius. Region locked. Only the PAL version of T-Bone is the OG one. Yes, thanks so much for tuning in, my man. It's awesome to get to talk to you. This is actually the first time you and I have ever talked.
It is.
Yeah, and it's
weird, right?
I know, yeah. I mean, I guess I've been doing a couple of these streams recently with people who I haven't had a lot of interactions with, and it's been fun to get to pick the brain of people here in DoD world, you know? So, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've been emailing you since, I don't know, when did you last time that? 2011?
When did I take over? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
It was not 20. I didn't take over in 2011 for sure. It was.
It was Paragon, then Traffic, then you. Oh no,
no. There's Hackstock. Hackstock was on there.
Hackstock. Yeah. I don't know. I've been just emailing dodsongs@gmail.com for like a decade.
Right. Oh, I see where the echo's coming from. Got it. Okay. I think I got it, everybody. I think we're good. My microphone was actually enabled. Sorry. Yeah, I took over 2018, 2017. I really don't remember, but whatever. Oh my god, I still have the vote thing going on. Anyways, we're here to talk about
vote for me.
Everybody vote for T-Bone.
6 out of 6, perfect.
Yes. So, I am very interested because, like you said, you have been entering Dwelling of Duels for so long. When did you first enter? Do you remember?
Yes, I do. I remember the first duel I entered was 2004, November.
Wow.
And it was a free month, I think. And I'm sure about that. But yeah, I saw Oceans. He played Flying Hachihoko and he posted on VGMix. And I loved that song. And there was a link there. Oh, this was for this new thing, this contest. And I'm like, okay, let me see what that is. And I clicked there and I joined the chess, and yeah, I've been there since then, 2004, yeah.
Wow.
November 2004, I have that on my folder that I showed you.
17 years, 16, almost 17 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at
the... old enough to vote, almost.
Yeah, that's true. I'm looking at the stats here on the DoD site. 116 entries from T-Bone. Have you I think you've reclaimed the title. No, Shuja still has you beat for that. But you have the most main entries.
Most main entries, yes.
Out of everybody. 116 though. I think you are the only two people who are in the 100 plus entries club, I gotta say. Which is a achievement all its own.
Yeah, it's crazy. I have so much free time.
Don't we all? Isn't that what we do, right?
Yeah, right.
So back in 2004, put me in the shoes of young T-Bone in 2004.
Not so young, but yeah. Well, like I said, I was doing VGM stuff on VGMix, and then Elshan, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Elshan.
Yeah, Elshan. He posted Flying Hachihoko, and I loved the song, and I clicked there, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. I love guitars. That's what I want to hear. I play guitar. I want to hear a lot of VGM with guitars, and also remix at the time was more electronic and more dance music and stuff like that. And I was like, I want a metal. I want guitars. And then I joined because I thought, okay, this is a group of people that are interested in the same thing that I am, playing VGM and with a live aspect, the guitar and bass, and yeah.
But so you were already recording music before you even found DoD. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, sure, yeah. I have been recording myself pretty much from the day I pick up a guitar.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you get started? Like what kind of software and things were you using back then? How did you get started with home recording?
Okay, home recording was, let me.
Or I mean, I don't know, maybe you were working in a studio back then. That'd be awesome to hear about too, but
Oh, yeah, no, unfortunately, no. But my first recordings were done on a little 486 I had with Windows 3.1 and the Sound Blaster. I don't know the name. It's a software that came with Sound Blaster. I get the card and it come there.
wow.
And it wasn't a multi-tracking software. So to multi-track, I had to record myself into the software. Then I played back on the computer speakers, and I had this little tape recorder that has a built-in mic, and I placed it around halfway to the computer speaker and my guitar amp, and that I get two tracks at once.
Wow. Manual overdubbing.
Yeah, it was awesome, but shitty.
Wow. Have any of those tracks survived to this day?
I had a couple, I think, yeah, on one of my backup drives, yeah. But most of those are really bad and out of tune and out of tempo and out of everything.
Yeah, that's still such an amazing way to like think about recording and do you know if there were other people who were doing the same kind of thing at the time? Because recording on like a
Yeah,
46 to me is like mind blowing.
yeah. At least one friend of mine had the same, pretty much a regular same setup that I had, and we trade experiences with that. Oh, I tried to do this. Oh, I put my amp in the bathroom, and now I have this huge echo. And it's like, oh, okay. We all had these little practice amps, like 10 watts, solid state stuff that beginners had. I mean, so that's what we recorded with, and a little. I had a Boss distortion pedal that I used on the in front of this amp because it had no distortion, and I want to be James Hetfield, so I need
Mm-hmm.
lots of distortion. So
Wow.
that was the beginning
The
of everything.
original plug-in rack, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was the original setup. Yeah.
That's awesome. Like I being of a younger uh generation, I guess. I feel like I don't know, I don't want to use the term generation. I'm younger than you. So my
Yeah.
first
Okay.
experience recording stuff was, with software that was meant to record audio and a computer that could handle multi-tracking out of the box. So like to hear about even if it was, the most rudimentary way of multi-tracking audio ever, I still find it,
Yeah,
absolutely
it
amazing
was
to hear
because it
about.
was what I had and what I knew at the time or something. Then I got into multi-track software and stuff, but this was a little bit later, yeah. But when I started on TOD, yeah, I already was using multi-track. Don't worry.
Dang. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, VG mix. Oh, that's another thing that's like a little bit before my time too. But I have a question for you that kind of relates how back in the day there was like, DoD was just starting out. Um VG mix I think was also pretty new at the time, right?
Yeah, probably.
OC remix had been around for a couple of years.
Yeah,
It's kind of interesting to see that there's like even back in the early 2000s there was like these separate communities that had maybe a little bit of overlap, but
yeah. It
unique
was pretty
enough.
much. Yeah, it was pretty much the OCR camp with the quality standards and the judgment process. Then you had DoD, which has the requirement of the live instrument, and then VG Mix was really a mix. Everyone was
Yeah.
dumping tracks there.
Do you find that there's any kind of like similarity to nowadays? How there's like, we've got Dwelling of Duels, OC Remix is still around. There's Pixel Mixers, which you're also a part of, and you're part of their staff nowadays. And then
Yeah,
even like Materia Collective and all those kind of things. Do you see similarities between the old and the new?
yeah, there is a bit. I mean, everyone is trying to do this stuff out of a love of the original material. So yeah, that's there and was always there. But in terms of scene or something, yeah, it's not the same anymore. It's so much spread out nowadays that you have all these different communities and all this different stuff. It was crazy when I first joined Pixel Mixers. I discovered there's like this huge community and these huge YouTubers, and I never heard of any of them. And I'm like, oh, how is that possible? I do follow VGM stuff online, but it's impossible to follow everything that happens.
Yeah, you thought you knew VGM, but then you're like, whoa, there's a
Exactly.
whole other
Yeah.
side. It's
Then there
crazy.
was there was this guys with, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers on YouTube or maybe more, and whoa, it's like, what? How I never heard any of them. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, the real thing is we got to get them over to Dueling of Duels so that we
yeah,
will have
I
heard
am trying. I am trying. My latest track on the vocal mount was, all my collaborators were from Pixel Mixers. I pulled everyone from there to help me on that track.
That's awesome. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
So yeah, pixel mixers. For those who don't know out there, and correct me if I get any of this wrong, T-Bone, because I think I know a bit of their history, but not all of it.
Yeah, sure.
Pixel
You joined
mixers.
too before
They
me, I
were.
think.
I guess I yeah I might have. So pixel mixers came out of Reddit. There was a subreddit called VG covers, and then Pixel Mixers became like a Discord server that was just made for that subreddit, I believe, and then kind of evolved. And it encompasses both the subreddit and then now they also do their own community album projects and things like that.
Yeah, it started with the subreddit organizing an album. Then they found out they need something, some place to talk and organize that album. And that was both from the VG covers subreddit and the game tabs, which is why the
Oh,
game
that's right.
tabs
Game.
site is now, Pixel Mixers is the official community for the game tab site.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't.
if you go,
I think I had recognized one of the people from Game Tabs, but that's so cool that they've kind of like
yeah,
combined.
even the grumpy leader, as in like to call himself Hashel, is from game tabs. He's the one that
Oh,
founded Pixel Mixers.
okay, nice. That's awesome. That's so cool to see.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with Pixel Mixers?
I started when Hashel made a post on the Chess looking for people to join for his Final Fantasy IX album. And I don't know, it was a slow day at work and I saw a Discord link and I was like, I have an hour to kill. Let's see what happens. And I clicked that link and everybody was so welcoming there and we start talking and I'm, oh, okay, yeah, this seems cool. Bunch of people passionate about VGM. Yeah, sounds like a good place. And from there on, and I got 3 tracks on the Final Fantasy IX album.
Nice.
And the thing was so big, it was like 120 tracks or something, and nine
Yeah.
hours of music. And they started asking people around, hey, if you know about something about mixing and try to help people, could you please join the quality control team? And I'm like, yeah, I can help. I have some time. So that happens, and I'm joining. I'm still part of the quality control team, as they call, which is everybody who's tried to make the tracks as good as they can be.
Yeah, that's so funny that I had a memory of that shiz post that Hachelle had made, and in the very back of my head, but I had no idea that that is how you got involved. That's so funny to me. That's
Yeah,
awesome. So
that's how it happened. Yeah.
I think I've only like submitted a track that I produced to one Pixel Mixers album. I think I've collabed on a few other ones here and there, but I've only had to deal with the quality control team once. And I remember getting some really good feedback from them. I think it was a little bit before you had
Yeah,
joined,
probably. I don't remember getting any track from you. So
or maybe it was, I don't know. Either way. But do you find that giving the quality control team feedback, you guys basically just hand out like everybody listens to the song for each person, and then you just write down some notes, and then the person who submitted that song gets like basically a big text document that says, here's what's good about your song. It's kind of like OCR when you get a song approved or rejected, how you get a bunch of forum posts about
yeah,
that.
it's similar. Yeah.
Do you find that there's any similarity or like do you find it similar to like writing reviews for DoD, or do you kind of do it a little bit different for this quality control stuff?
Yeah, I do a little bit different. At least I don't know for all the other members of the QC2, as they call QCT, as they call it. But I always open the Pixel Mixer tracks on my DAW and I go through them with my Spectrum analyzer and try to really dissect the mix and try to give pinpoints exactly what I think should be improved or not improved, or what is good and what is not. And I don't do that with DoD. I usually listen once or twice, vote, write the first impressions, and that's what you got from me.
Okay.
So usually the KCT takes a little bit more time. You usually invest at least maybe 20 minutes per song in average.
Sure, yeah, because you're trying to give like more
More
detailed
precise.
feedback.
Yeah,
Like it's
exactly.
your job, right?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Should I ask a question in here? Do you listen to the mixes on headphones or monitors? If so, what model?
I have two pairs of headphones. I have the one I have right now that you can see, Shiji, but it's a Roland. Let me see the just a second. It's a Roland RH5. That's the one that I usually use because it's really comfortable. You can stay with this thing for like 8 hours and you won't even feel. So it's designed to be used for long periods of time.
Nice.
I also have an AKG K44 one 40X 40 something. It's one of those foldables AKG sets. That's pretty much all I use to mix and listen to stuff. So they are very different. So it's good to have a in between
Something to
both.
go
But I
back
don't
and
have
forth
any
on.
monitors. I live in a small apartment and no amps, no monitors, not anything that can make a lot of noise, unfortunately.
Wow, interesting. Do you have like small speakers on your computer at all, or is it just strictly headphones that you use?
It's a strictly headphone. My computers have no speakers at all.
Wow.
Yeah. I never use. I mean, I haven't had a guitar amp since I was playing with a band, and that was 7 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's when I sold my amp.
I enjoy being able to mix on headphones, but I don't know what I would be able to do if I didn't have my monitors. Mostly just because like sometimes I just want to listen to music, right, and like have it play out of my computer. Not even like in a professional capacity, like giving feedback or anything. I just want to listen to some Green Day or something, you know.
Yeah. I usually listen to a lot of music during the day when I'm working, so I usually have a headphone on my work computer also.
Okay, nice. So yeah, so you talk about doing like the spectral analysis on the Pixel Mixers reviews. What
Yeah.
kind of things are you looking for? Are you looking for like exact frequencies where like, oh, the snare is really pinky at this, you know?
Yeah, usually yes. My feedback usually goes like something like that. I usually actually most of the people have problem with their low end. They usually do something with the low end or they don't do something and there's this huge buildup of information there and you don't even listen to that. You can hear. It's just there in occupying space. So a lot of that is trying to pinpoint, hey, if you cut the bass here, if you cut everything up to this, you have a clear lower end. And yeah, usually a lot of time it's like that. Yeah, oh, your snare is too blinky. Try cutting down, I don't know, 1.2 Ks or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Eric Peabody, Viking Guitar is in the chat, and I remember that
Oh,
was
cool. I
the
didn't
first bit of
make the name with Viking. Hey,
yeah,
Viking. Yeah,
that
my
is
friend.
that Viking
Hey.
Guitar right there. He I remember the first bit of advice he ever gave me was regarding bass frequencies because when you're getting started on mixing, that's what you can never hear is the bass frequencies, and they
Yeah,
always sound
exactly.
terrible.
And yeah, and on Pixel Mixers, we have a lot of different styles. A lot
Yeah,
of people play classical instruments, so we have a lot of orchestral stuff and stuff like that that really builds up the low end. And it's like, oh, the cello is resonating on, I don't know, 100 hertz, and it's playing like notes at 4,000. So it's like, what it's doing there?
yeah. High pass filters are your best friend
Yeah, that's
in
usually
everything.
my most typed out comment is high pass everything except the kick and the bass and then go from there.
Yeah,
Start again.
yeah.
Yeah, usually it's that. Yeah.
That's always a good place to start, no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. I do that with all my DoD mixes. I start with the low end and then work my way up to the high end.
That's one way to do it. So you have also, in addition to doing DoD tracks and Pixel Mixers tracks, you've been kind of reaching out over the past few years into more original materials as well.
Yeah, I've been trying to write a little bit, yeah, but more recently, yeah, trying
That's
to.
cool. I'm sure the answer to this is yes. Like things that you've learned from DoD have certainly translated well into like writing original music, right?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, everything I know about music comes from DoD. Everything. From the most basic stuff like double tracking guitars. When I first started, I never double track guitars. And then I think it was Ryan 8-bit comes to me and say, hey, if you do this, record 2 times and then it will sound great. And I'm like, did, and I'm like, oh yes, I'm
You're like, oh
definitely
my
doing
god,
that every day for the
the
rest of my
secret's
life.
been unlocked.
Exactly, yeah. Because I'm just like this little kid without access to a lot of stuff, and then some guy has that I was listening to, like I don't know, Snapple Man, comes to me and say, "Hey, do this," and I'm like, "Yes, I'm doing that for sure."
Hmm.
So yeah, pretty much all my music upbringing has been DoD related in
For
some way
sure.
or another. So yeah, what I write nowadays is definitely DoD influenced for sure.
Do you think um, does it apply any to writing the melodies and the content of the original songs themselves?
Yeah, a lot because pretty much everything almost everything I know from music theory, I learned from VGM. So when I'm writing something, even to know if I'm on key or off key or going with an extension chord or whatever, it's stuff that I learned
Oh
during
wait,
VGM.
extension chords, that's a bit too fancy for us.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting too jazzy here.
Yeah. No,
You kids and your extension cards.
I do have to say that I feel like DoD has kind of evolved into more of a more not exactly a jazzy tone, but just outside of like power chord rock and metal and stuff,
Oh
which has
yeah, for
been really
sure. You
awesome.
can you can definitely hear that it's becoming more broad and, dare I say, sophisticated. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
not just chugging anymore. Back in 2005, we we're all like, chugging on our guitars and trying to be as heavy as possible. And nowadays, it's like, okay, even harps can win, apparently, or so I
whoa,
heard.
whoa! I don't think harpsichord's here to defend their entry from last month.
Yeah, and I know chromatic apparatus is in too. So yeah, I can I can talk about
No harps
harp.
present. Time to shit on the harps. Everyone, throw
Exactly.
your harps in the chat.
Harpists are asleep quickly. Downvote harps.
That's so funny. I do think it's been amazing to see like months like or even last month with the vocal month. Angry Polar Bear winning with that double baritone vocal arrangement of Zero Wing music was
Oh
absolutely
yeah, man.
fantastic.
That was awesome. That was the same thing happens to me, I think, every month with DOD. I'm working on my track, right? Chugging along and oh man, this sounds good. This is my best track ever. This month I'm gonna win. Then I submit and I start listening part like, okay, I'm not better than that one. Then the second song playing like, okay, maybe I'm third. Then it's like, okay, and yeah, I'm gonna be placed last. But man, people are really bringing up, lots of great songs.
You got to learn how to play harp.
Yeah, and apparently put my cleavage on my thumbnails.
Whoa. To
Apparently, that's the secret to YouTube.
YouTube, yes, not
Yeah,
necessarily to DoD.
yeah. This whole
Anonymous
anonymous thing.
cleavage.
Yeah, anonymous cleavage. That's gonna be my next band name.
That'd be
Nobody
great.
still. Listen, chat. Nobody still.
Yeah. Do not go post it in the shiz thread.
Yeah.
Uh, man, now I forgot what the next question was. I was going to ask. I had a thing lined up, and I've just been wiped.
Oh, sorry about
Uh,
my stupid joke.
no. You're totally fine. This is great. What was I going to ask?
What it could be.
T-Bone, don't leave me with any dead air here. Talk about something.
Okay, have I told you guys about the Church of the Endoism, where we worship Masahiro Endo?
Oh yeah, of course. I do remember what I was going to talk about. I was going to segue into the conversation about YouTube. We've talked a couple times to some of the people we've interviewed here about YouTube VGM on YouTube, whatever you want to
Okay.
call it. And before we even started this stream, you and I were talking about how there's like or maybe it was on the stream. I don't know. At this point, it's all kind of leading together. There's like people out there that have like you had said like thousands of subscribers that you had never heard of.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
do you think that the YouTube scene almost kind of exists as like a secret fourth VGM scene? If we're thinking of like OC Remix, Pixel Mixer, well, maybe it's like a fifth scene or sixth scene or something like that at this point.
Yeah. I see what you mean. And yeah, I agree. It is. It is completely apart from all that. Because people are posting there and sometimes they aren't even aware that OC Remix or DOD or whatever exists. So everybody thinks they are, oh, I'm so unique. I bet nobody likes the same stuff that I do. And actually, there are 7 billion people in the world. There are millions of people that like the same thing that you do. It's just a
Right.
matter of finding those people, you know. But yeah, nowadays I think YouTube especially is too watered down. I mean, it's too spread up, it's too saturated. I mean, you really, it's like a joke we say here in Brazil, you know, you kick a tree and you can find a guitar player because it's gonna drop. And
Man, that's why I started learning to play mandolin so I can do something different.
yeah, exactly. That's why I'm learning keys. I'm trying to do something different, you know. There's if you put on VGM metal on YouTube, I mean, you're probably gonna find what a bajillion and more results.
Yeah.
No, and even on Reddit, you go scrolling on any VGM subreddit, and it's like, this metal cover, this metal cover, this metal cover, this metal cover. And like sometimes you see something that is not a metal cover. So, whoa, that's different.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the novelty kind of.
Yeah, especially if something with guitar. One of my best performing videos was one that I posted on Reddit. It was a DoD song, the Grand Prix Circuit song from PC versus console month.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and when I posted that on Reddit, I write non-metal guitar cover. And that attracts like a lot of people to my video going, oh, wait, what? It's possible to play
It's
other styles?
guitar without metal.
Yeah, it
Whoa.
was like that. So, you know, I feel bad because there are a lot of great metal players. I mean, Jesus Christ, I love them. But yeah, you know, unfortunately, it's kind of like, it seems like guitar is equal to metal in VGM for
Yeah,
some
and people
reason. Yeah.
hear. I think a lot of people who hear the term metal, like even outside of the VGM scene, people hear metal and they assume that it's like screamo or death metal or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be some. Oh, I don't like, I don't know, Cannibal Corpse, so I'm not gonna like any metal. It's like
Yeah,
this is only one thing, and it's not. Yeah, so sometimes you gotta try to find these little pockets of opportunity.
yeah, or ways to like game people's internal views of stuff. Like I know,
Yeah, exactly.
if something is metal but it doesn't have any kind of vocals or anything, you can sometimes get away with calling it hard rock, and people will be like all over it.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you can do this kind of stuff. Yeah, and I think it works. I mean, in the end, like I told you before we started, we're all just trying to get listened. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the main goal. So if you had to maybe change a little bit, yeah.
I think it's an evolution in some ways, and like trying to, because I used to do a lot of metal covers myself, and I've kind of like, um, gone into a few different experimentations and things, and I think I feel like you have too with approaching more like, um, I know, for example, you and I collaborated a long time ago on like a bossa nova track from Monster Boy in
Yeah,
Monster
Wonder
World,
Boy.
Wonder Boy in Monster
Wonder Boy,
World.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing that and being like, wow, this is like a really cool and unique kind of like, because I'm not familiar with bossa nova or anything like that. So to me, it was really cool.
Yeah,
Very
that's
novel
pretty much
idea.
the year when I start branching out a little bit more from metal. And I was listening to a lot of Robin Ford that time. It was when he released that album. It was called something in Nashville. I don't remember the name of the album, but it was something in Nashville. And I really loved that album. I spent like 3 months trying to sound like Robin Ford, and then I figured out I'm not good enough to sound anything like him.
Hmm.
But it helps to open up a little bit for me, you know, and trying to get out of the metal a little bit because to me was I'm never gonna be a shredder. I have to come to terms with that. I'm not gonna spend 8 hours a day going up and down with the guitar neck and scales. I don't have the patience or the attention for that. So I was trying to find out, okay, what else there is there that excites me, you know, that I want to make, that I want to listen to, because up to that point, pretty much all my life I've been listening to metal and shredders and fast guitar solos, and that was what I was trying to do. And so many people do so much better than I do, so I'm gonna keep listening to them and try to offer something maybe a little bit different. I don't know.
Well, there's always going to be someone who's better than you at anything that you
Yeah,
do
and it's probably
somewhere in the
Asian
world.
has like 4 years old, right?
I feel like we made this exact same comment like either in the last video or 2 videos ago. I don't know. I'm having major deja vu right now, but it's because it's true. Like there's always someone out there who's better than whatever you do. So you can only aspire to be as good as you can be, and however
Yeah, that's
much.
the realization that I come to. Yeah, I can be just as good as I can be. So I'm gonna be the best T-Bone 5 that I can be.
Yes.
Nobody can be another me. So I'll try to be me. Yeah. And if people like it, great. And if people don't like it, well, sorry.
And I think that note is a perfect segue to lead into our musical segment here. And we're going to play a
Oh, cool.
couple of your original tracks that you've been working on, the T-Bone 5 exclusives.
Yes.
We are going to kick things off with your. I don't know if this is exactly your newest track. This is the one from July. This is Electric Coffee Master. Electric
Electric
Coffee
coffee.
Master. This is the the
The
Master
master.
MP3.
Yeah,
Electric
exactly.
Coffee. What can you tell us about this track before we go into it?
Yeah, this track is my latest. Yeah. And I'm trying to, like I said jokingly, this is me trying to be as good as my round. But really, this is just me trying to focus all those latest influences that I have, which is Myron, which is T Square, Cassiopeia, and a lot of synthwave. I listen to a lot of synthwave, like an unreal amount of synthwave when I'm working, because like 99% is instrumental. So I just throw up a synthwave, whatever radio on YouTube, and I leave that on, and those things kind of go get ingrained in your mind. So it kind of comes out in these kinds of tunes. So yeah, this is a little bit more chilled, and yeah, something like that.
Okay. T-bone through the filter of synthwave and probably a lot of coffee while you're working, right?
Yeah, a lot of that.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and hop into this track. We're listening to a couple T-bone tracks, so stick around, everybody, and we will see you on the other side.
Yeah, see you.
Trying out for the sweet embrace. Yeah, 'cause we all never fail. We have to pay the price. There's a canvas with two faces, fallen angels who loved and lost. It was a passion for the ages, and in the end, guess we paid the cost. A thing of beauty, I know, will never fade away. Watching it to me, I know. Say what you had to say, but a thing of beauty will never fade away. Will never fade away. Will never fade away. I see your eyes, I know you see me. You're like a ghost, how you're everywhere. I'm your demon, never leaving. A metal soul of rage and fear. One thing that changed it all. That one sin that caused the fall. A thing of beauty, I know, will never fade away. Watching it to me, I know. Say what you have to say, but a thing of beauty, I know, will never fade away. And I'll do my duty, I know. Somehow I'll find a way, but a thing of beauty will never fade away. And I'll do my duty, yeah, will never fade away. Will never fade away. Will never fade away. Will never fade away.
And we are back. We just heard 4 great tunes by T-Bone 5 himself. We had, I'm gonna name them the exact same way that I did with DoD. We had Electric Coffee, which I did incorrectly tag as Electric Coffee Master. Oops.
Yeah.
We had Sunset Stradale.
Stradale. It's Italian.
Stradale. Okay, nice.
It's Italian for road. It means sunset road.
Oh, okay. Sick. And then we had a tune from Dwelling of Duels from the PC versus console month. That was GPEGA.exe, which was from none other than Grand Prix Circuit. And then we had Never Fade Away, which was a cover from Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, exactly. That was it.
Awesome stuff. So here's what I'm going to do. This is a
Okay.
segment of the show that we call Rapid Fire Shoot Your Questions.
Okay, sure.
And I'm actually going to start with a T-Bone question. Or, I'm sorry, the Bitter Roost question first, because he did have one right after we posted. How do you find your synth sounds? Do you preset surf or do you make them from scratch?
So I started usually from presets, and then I tweak it to my lightings. That was what I have been doing for a long time. But here is the drum roll. I bought a new synth last week. Oh, and it's a hardware synth. Ooh, and it's full of knobs. Yay!
Whoa.
And it doesn't have presets.
What?
So,
because it's hardware, yeah.
Yeah, I have to
What kind of synth
create
is it?
my own sounds from scratch. So I'm having a lot of fun with those. Yeah, it's from Modo Electronics, and it's a wavetable synth, and it's really cool. It's really
that's
small,
awesome.
and yeah. So I've been trying to learn more synth and doing from scratch. But yeah, up so far it's usually get a preset, tweak a little bit, and usually the envelope, and it's good to go. Or if you're playing with the mighty DX7, you just load bass one, or E piano one, or brass one. Brass one.
Brass.
And that's it. You don't mess with those three. Those you don't change. You
Those
can't
ones,
change.
yeah.
They are too good. They're perfect.
That's awesome. So
Yamaha-san,
if
please send
anyone
me a big
has
seven.
if anybody wants to learn some information about synths, check out our video on the Dueling of Duels YouTube channel where Matt Matat goes through programming the Synth V plugin. Very good
Yeah, I
stream
did it
there.
with Vital. It was great. And it's also
Oh
a
yeah,
stable
Vital, not
thing.
Synth V.
Yeah. SynthV is the thing that Pingo used for vocals. It's really cool also.
Oh man, my bitrate is going through the toilet right now with the stream. Like extreme terrible. Hold on. Brace yourself, everybody. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, 0. I have 0 bits per second.
That's not a lot of bits per second.
Oh, now we're back up to 5,000, 2,000, 3,000. I think we might be restabilizing.
Okay. I guess that the X7 was too powerful for this stream. I'm sorry about that. It's the power of FM synths.
I think we're back up. I hope we are. Let's continue as if nothing happened.
Yeah, sure. Did something happen? No. Okay.
Oh yeah, what I don't think they heard what. Oh yeah, what hardware synth did you get? That's what they missed.
Oh, it's a Model Electronics Craft synth. That's the name. From Model. Modal? It's MODAL. Modal. And it's the little one without the keypad because I already have a MIDI controller.
Nice. Awesome. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with this. I think we're good though. I think we're good now.
Okay.
Okay, so the next question. What is your 80s favorite 80s drum machine? Do you have a favorite?
Yes, the lean drum. Favorite by a mile and a half. It's the one I used on those songs actually that you just heard. That's the lean drum.
And then what compressor is your go-to compressor?
Go-to compressor is the Klang Hyom. It's the DC13A. It's free VST and works great. 2 knobs, input, output, and compressor. That's it. It's the one that I've been using on everything pretty much. Yeah.
That is all you need.
Proof. Yeah.
Have you ever owned a Famiclone console?
Yes, I had. Famiclones were the only ones that were available in Brazil because Nintendo never had an official presence until pretty much the early N64 days. So pretty much everything before that was clones and imports, and that was pretty much the problem with Nintendo in Brazil because it was really spread out and it was bootleg, and mine also played both Japanese cards and American cards, the 60 pins and the 72 pins. It was a dual slot, so I could rent any card from the store and it would work. Yeah. Because you never know which. Oh, I want to play Mario, but you never know if it was going to be like American version, the Japanese version, the Russian version, the bootleg, I don't know, whatever version. So you need to have the console to be able to handle all that.
Wow.
I actually only knew that Mega Man was called Mega Man when I was like almost out of high school because I always called Rockman because I never found the American.
Yeah, it was just always called Rockman. That's so funny.
I never knew that was an American version. I always rent on the store and it was always Rockman, Rockman 2, Rockman 3, and whatever.
Yeah, that's just who he is. He is the Rockman.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not made of rocks.
Follow-up question. What is the greatest 8-bit console and why is it the Sega Master System?
All right, it's the Nintendo. No, wait, I'm just kidding.
whatever your answer is.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is the Master System in my opinion. I love that console. It was the one that I had when I was growing up. It's still the one that I have. It's one of the only 2 consoles that I ever kept. It's the Master System. I have around 50 games for it, and yeah, it's great. I mean, it's technically superior to the NES. It has more colors. It has a faster CPU. It has more RAM. But the sound chip was really underperforming in comparison to the NES, so that was the only aspect it was below.
Oh, okay.
The NES, yeah, but it was a great console and it has all the games.
Been a runaway hit.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, if everyone that says, "Oh, the NES dominated," that person is American. You can put that right after it.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, it is, because all around the world, the Master System did a lot better. In Europe, it did better. I'm not sure. I think in the UK, they didn't have official NES, but had an official Sega thing going on. So that was big there either for the same reason. Yeah.
Wow. Uh, Next question. Have you
Next
heard of
question.
these are all Shizer questions, so
Okay.
all of these have been. Are you aware of the Dizzy games?
Yes, I am.
There's
I
no
am.
other. It's just, are you aware about them? So good. We'll move on to the next one. Do you
Yeah,
like
I'm aware of
Wario
that.
Land 4?
I never played any Wario Land games. Sorry, so I don't know if I
Okay.
like it.
Do you know any Polish bands?
I don't. Not that I think of. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
Probably
there's a
not.
recommendation in here for a band called the Flower Kings.
Oh, I heard the Flower Kings. They're Polish?
I don't
If
know
they
if that's
are,
the Polish band,
yeah. If
but
they are Polish, then I know them.
okay. And I think that's all the questions we got from here. Oh, Ian Martin says, "Do you have a Holy Grail hardware synth?" And I
Oh,
think
yes.
is the answer a DX7.
DX7 for sure. Yeah.
What's
That's
your second like Holy Grail?
my
right below
second
that?
Holy Grail would be the Juno, the Holland Juno 6.
Dude, the keyboard player in Steel Samurai played a Juno, and that thing was very nice.
Yeah, man. It's such a lush sound, for
Yeah.
pads and peaks and so.
Wow,
Exactly. It's the best
It's-
wall sound.
Yeah,
Indeed.
he did make some really good pad sounds with that.
Yeah, it's great. And those two would be like the holy grails for me. Yeah, but you can't find them here. You can't find any vintage gear here. So yeah, even
That's
if you find it,
that's so
costs
unfortunate.
like $10,000 or something.
If you could get any kind of a sponsorship from like any company that's making gear currently, contemporary gear companies,
Okay.
what would your dream sponsorship be?
Oh, that's easy, Ibanez.
You'd finally
Yeah.
get that green Ibanez.
Yeah, I'm gonna finally get that neon green and then the hot, uber hot pink RG with
Yeah.
white pickups and and a flower inlay and whatever.
Would you get one of the Ibanez's that has like the handle cut out of it too, the Steve Vai
Yeah,
style?
man, that is my dream guitar. The white jam, or better yet, the floral jam, the Jam 77 FP, the floral pattern one that was made with the curtains of his house.
Oh wow.
With pink pickups, man, that's my holy grail dream guitar ever, 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 ever. That was the one. If I could have any guitar in the world ever, it was going to be a floral jam. I have no chops to play that guitar on live on stage,
But it would be so
totally
cool
would.
to own.
Exactly. Everybody would be like, "Oh man, the guy's playing a curtain. What the hell is that?" So yeah, man.
Does the hand cutout make it easier to play?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it must be right.
It must be, right?
I mean, why would Steve Vai play better than me, right? It's the hole in the guitar. Mine
It's the
doesn't have
hole
a
in the
hole.
guitar. Yeah.
It's either that or the color. I mean,
Everybody knows that, that's why Stratocasters sound so good, because they did two cutaways, instead of one that the Gibson was doing. They did two
Yeah.
cutaways, and more holes in your guitar is better. That's why headless guitars are so good. There's less guitar, makes it easier to play.
speed rolls. You actually add speed.
Yeah, exactly. You get to like a dexterity bonus. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So my final question that I always ask to people here on the stream is,
Okay.
what is your number one advice that you would give to DoD competitors?
Have fun. That's it. Have fun. Nobody's getting paid for doing this shit. So have fun. Go crazy. Do whatever you want to hear. Play whatever you want to hear. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if anyone likes. Doesn't matter if you get last place. Believe me, I know about getting last place. I have a handful of them or more. So yeah, have fun. Have fun. Knock yourself out.
I gotta say, I am. You have so much. What's the word? Your perseverance, right? You are not hindered in any way by not getting the gold medals that the Princes of the Darkness and the Snapples men get. And I really, I can't think of the words. I really
How
like
can
that
I
about
say
you.
this without offending him, right? That's what you think. Come on, man.
Exactly.
You can't offend me. Don't worry. I know you're bad, but you keep doing this. Why? Right?
No. I remember like one of my a Magfest month where I did an entry and I we worked really hard on it and I was like actually really sad when the results came out and I was like I placed lower than I thought I would, but you know, T-Bone, you have certainly been in that same situation before, and like I think there's a lot of people out there who have gotten discouraged by low entry places in DoD, and some of them have never come back. Like I I know people who have friends of mine who have entered, and I've been like, yeah, enter DoD, this will be great. And of
Yeah,
course,
it's
they're
awesome.
new to recording music, and they record a song and they get last place or second to last place or something like that, or it's just an alt and that's all they can do, and people you know drop it and they're like, well, I didn't do the best at it, but really I think you embody the true spirit of DoD, which is perseverance and
Thanks,
learning
man.
from uh,
Yeah,
every
like I
track you
said,
work on.
it's not nobody's job, and nobody's going to jail if you place last. Nobody's going to arrest you for placing last. So do what you want. It's fun. Experiment with music. No, if you think, oh man, I would love to do a synth track with heavy guitars and I don't know a balalaika on it, do it.
Yeah,
If that's what you want to hear, do it. Just go and make it. And DoD has this kind of this weird thing because of the anonymity status. You can't really talk about stuff before the results. So I don't know. It's usually happened to me, but like I said, when I'm working on my song, I was like pumped and hyped. And I'm like, oh, this is great. This is gonna place awesome. This is the month where I finally gonna get my gold medal. And then I start listening to the other songs, and I'm like, okay, I like those songs a lot better than mine. I know I am placing last, you know. So, but I'm like, okay, I don't care. I had fun that month doing that song. I invested, I don't know, 20 hours on it, and I had fun. It's 20 hours that I chose to invest on it. So I don't get bummed for it. And if anyone says to me something like, oh, you can improve by doing this and that, and like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to them. Why wouldn't I? I mean,
yeah,
nobody's trying to put you down. But when someone gives you an advice, oh, try this or try that, it's not like they're trying to make you feel bad about yourself. They just want you to sound better. Sometimes you have entries that have as awesome playing, but the mix is kind of bad. So you try to make your mix better,
yeah.
and
And
you go along. Yeah.
some people have great mixes, but like the performance or the arrangement is just not totally there. And it's all a learning process. DoD is all about learning, getting
Yeah,
better.
exactly. And according to she, he likes beating me on the votes. Yeah.
Apparently.
Okay, so now I'm gonna have to beat you this month, Shiji. You know that. You can't
Oh,
make
now
this
there's
kind
a
of
now there's a feud
challenges.
happening.
Yeah, we gotta make a fake feud happen.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Get some rile up some people,
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
and
Trash
yeah,
talk people, even if you know you're gonna place last. Who cares? It's all for fun. Like I said, it's all for fun. You gotta do it. If you're not having fun, then yeah, stop entering. Stop doing this. Go find something else to do with your free time. It's not a problem if you don't have fun and you wanted to go do something else.
and like you said, nothing bad is going to happen if you do get last place. But on that note, I would like to announce we're now charging a fee to everybody who enters a song. We just had too many entries last free month,
Yeah,
so unfortunately, we are going to have to charge
yeah,
$30 for an entry for everybody. So
yeah. Okay, that
um,
happens. I need to buy a DX7, so
sorry.
yeah, you're not gonna need to pay.
Just kidding. DoD still free to enter. Um,
But follow the Patreon, right?
yes, please support our Patreon. And everybody, no. Don't support our Patreon. Everybody go find T-Bone's Patreon and
I
support
don't
him
have
over
a
there.
Patreon.
Don't you? I'm pretty sure you do.
I had one,
Oh,
but I
did you get
closed
rid
it.
of it? Oh.
Yeah. I was kind of bummed that nobody was supporting me, and
T-
it was another side to
yeah.
maintain. Oh, I had to do this and that and Discord and Twitter. I'm now on Twitter, so and Bandcamp and all that. I'm like, oh wait, I'm not giving this enough attention, so I closed it.
Patreon's tough. So everybody go out there, I'm gonna make sure I spell it right in the chat. Give T-Bone a follow out on Bandcamp, on Twitter, hit his fan link and go follow him on Spotify and all that stuff as well. T-Bone,
Yeah,
thank you so much for
I'm
joining me
everywhere.
tonight.
Easy to find, and just go there and listen to some tunes, and yeah, have fun. That's it.
Put his Spotify tunes on repeat while you're sleeping. Give him a couple extra
Exactly.
bucks there.
And send me a free DX7.
Yeah, if there's anyone out there who's a vintage collector and doesn't
Yeah,
mind
if you
shipping to Brazil.
Yeah, if you happen to have one laying around that you are using and you
Happen to
don't
have
mind
one.
paying hundreds of dollars to ship to me, yeah. Original, yeah, sure. Maybe.
Well, like I said,
Who
it's
knows?
been fantastic chatting with you, and thanks so much for joining us this evening. And
Yeah,
thanks so
man.
much for all the time and
Thank
dedication
you.
that you
Yeah.
have put
But I
into
have to say
VOD
one
over the
last
years.
thing. I really want to do this. I have ever since you asked me. I had to say it. And this is Dwelling of Duels. Oh man, I'm trying to get that inflection right. You say it every time. It's so good.
This is Dwelling of Duels. I don't even know how I did it. I did it wrong that time.
Yeah, I need to learn how to do that properly. You need to teach me. Yeah.
I'll give you a crash course. All right, everybody. Have a good evening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.